Welcome. In this playthrough of Marvel Champions, a card game, we have Ant-Man taking on Ultron in Expert mode. Taking a look at our setup, with Ultron, we're using 2 and 3. Starts out with a Scheme of 2, Attack of 2, Forced Interrupt. When he attacks you, put the top card of your deck into play face down, engage with you as a drone minion. Till the end of this attack, Ultron gets +1 attack for each drone minion engaged with you. He starts with 22 health. Then with his Crimson Cow, like I said, we're using Ultron 2 and 3 for Expert mode, along with the additional Expert cards. Got Ultron in the standard and counter sets, along with Under Attack. Setup, put the Ultron drone's environment into play, shuffle the encounter deck, and advance to stage 1B. And this is a threshold of 3. When revealed, each player puts the top card of their deck into play face down, engage with them as a drone minion. And the drone minions, so each face-down drone minion engaged with a player has a base scheme of 1, attack of 1, and hit points of 1. Force response, after a face-down drone minion is defeated, place that card into its owner's discard pile. And then for Ant-Man, in his tiny form, thwart of 2, attack of 1, defense of 2. It's a puny pest with a response, after you change this form, remove 1 threat from a scheme. Hand size of 5. Alter Ego, recovery of 3, time to unwind. As a response, after you change this form, heal 1 damage from Scott Lang. Hand size of 6. And then in his giant form, thwart of 1, attack of 3, defense of 3. It's a giant nuisance. As a response, after you change this form, do 1 damage to an enemy and a hand size of 4 in this form. So finish shuffling our encounter deck for setup. And then for Scott Lang, he's going to get 6 cards. I'm running leadership in this. I'll go over deck construction at the end of the video. So I've got this shuffled, and then the top card is going to become a drone minion, and we'll get 6. So we're starting with Goliath, a Helicarrier, Squirrel Girl, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the Power of Leadership, and Hawkeye. And I know I want to keep those, so we'll just see if I can get any more double resources, pitching those 3. So I've got Earth Avengers Tower, Lockjaw, and Resize. So we're just going to start by flipping to our giant form. After you change to this form, deal a damage to an enemy to get our Triskelion back. We'll go ahead and swing for 3, down to 19. Resize, change to your other hero form and draw a card. So if there was threat, we could remove 1. Drawing into Earth's Mightiest Heroes. And I'm going to bring in Avengers Tower. Each of our allies has the Avenger trait. Increase our ally limit by 1. As an action, exhaust this, reduce the cost of the next Avenger ally played this phase by 1. So we'll put that in play and exhaust it. So we can bring in Hawkeye 1 cheaper with the Power of Leadership. When he enters play, we put 4 arrow counters on him. As a response, after a minion enters play, remove a counter from him to deal 2 damage to that minion. And we're just going to keep him healthy. So we'll end our turn. I am going to keep that, drawing 4 more cards. Energy, Giant Strength, Hive Mind, and the Power of Leadership. Start by getting a threat. Ultron's going to attack. He gets a drone. We'll blow it up. There's Wonder Man. It's attacking for a base 2. We're just going to let that happen. So 4 damage, down to 8. And counter card, Shadows of the Past. That's pretty early. So we're going to get our Nemesis, a side scheme, and 3 more terrible cards for us. So first is Yellow Jacket, scheme of 2, attack of 2 with 4 health. While we're in giant form, he's also a giant and retaliate 1. While we're in tiny form, he's tiny and gets +1 attack. Then our Tech Theft, treat the printed text box of each tech player card as if it were blank. Well, we are going to shoot him for 2. I'll go ahead and get that over with. So our tech cards are going to be blank. Comes in with 2 threat. And then we'll shuffle these 3 cards into our encounter stack. That's a pretty good response by Ultron. So we're going to bring in the Helicarrier 3, so we can exhaust that to make our next card cost 1 less for the phase. We'll go ahead and do that to bring in some giant strength. So after you change to giant hero form, we'll get +1 attack until the end of this turn. Then we're going to thwart for 2. Change to our giant form, dealing a damage, and then swing for the final damage on Yellow Jacket. And end our turn. We'll discard Hive Mind. We're getting 4 cards. So we've got another version of Ant-Man, Army of Ants, more giant strength, and strengthened numbers. 1 threat goes to attack, brings out a drone, we shoot it, and a giant stomp goes away. We will defend on this attack. So base 2, 3 damage coming in, defense of 3, so nothing happens. Counter card, repair sequence. Ultron heals 2 damage for each drone minion engaged with you. If no damage was healed this way, this card gains surge. So size increase, this is not good. Attach to Yellow Jacket if able. If you cannot attach to the villain, he gets 3 size encounters. Or counters. After he activates, remove a size counter from here, and he's getting +2 scheme and +2 attack. So we've got Giant Ultron. So I am going to bring in Ant-Man with 1 card. He gets +1 hit point for each PIM counter on him. When he enters play, place a PIM counter on him to a maximum of 4 for each resource you overpaid for his cost, and his normal cost is 0. So we've got 1 health. Then we are going to do strength of numbers, exhaust any number of allies you control to draw a card for each ally exhausted this way. So exhausting both of those to draw 2 cards. So we've got Wasp and Black Knight. So we're going to make the next card we play 1 cheaper, and the next ally we play, Avenger ally, is going to be reduced by 1. So we'll bring in Wasp for 1. After she enters play, deal 2 damage to an enemy if you're in giant form, which we are. Down to 17. And then she will thwart for 2. And just for some better card draw, we're going to switch to Tiny Hero Ant-Man. End her turn. Keeping the ants in her hand. Drawing 4 more. So we've got her helmet. That's an awesome card. Mighty Heroes. Team Training. And Resize. So starting to get built up here. So we get a threat. He's going to attack. Hawkeye's going to use his last arrow. There goes a giant stomp. He's going to be +4 attack. Ant-Man will jump in the way of this. So 4, 5, 6 damage. Thanks, other Ant-Man. Counter card, Under Fire. When revealed, reveal the top card of the encounter deck, and then we're surging. So we're getting 2 more cards. Pair sequence. So that's going to get Surge into a Concussion Blaster. He gains Retaliate. We can exhaust a hero and spend 2 energy resources to discard this, and another +1 attack. And then a Drone Factory. Each player puts the top card of their deck into play face down. Engage with them as a drone minion. Place a threat here for each drone minion in play. So we're getting 5 on that, and that gives us an acceleration. So Hawkeye is going to swing for 1 to take care of our army of ants. We will reduce the cost of the next card we play to bring in our helmet. So as a hero response, after you change to giant hero form, we heal 2 damage from our hero. After we change to tiny hero form, we draw a card. So we are going to change to giant form. We're going to deal a damage. That's dealing, not an attack, so we don't have to worry about retaliate. We're also going to heal 2 damage. Going up to 10, and we also get +1 until the end of the turn. So we're attacking for 4. Down to 12. And this time we get hit back. Wasp will thwart for 2. We're going to play Resize, hero action, change to your other form and draw a card. So we're changing to our tiny form, get to remove a threat from a scheme. We also get to draw a card, strengthen numbers. Then we're going to bring in an army of ants. Hero action, if you're in tiny hero form, exhaust the ants, deal 1 damage to an enemy. So not an attack. Down to 11. That will end our turn. Drawing 5. Strength, Inspiring Presence, Stinger, Hawkeye, and U.S. Agent. So we will get 2 threat. Ultron's going to attack. We get a drone. It's getting bigger, so he's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hawkeye will jump in front of that. 7, 8 damage coming at us. Good save. And counter card. Upgraded drones. Now the drones. Oh yes, forgot about that. He's hitting us for 1, which we're taking. Then we get this. So our drones are now +1 attack and +1 hit point. Spend 1 of each resource type to get rid of that. And back to our turn. So we're going to use our ants to put a damage here. Flip to our giant form, dealing a damage to an enemy. Getting our wrist gauntlets back. And we heal 2 damage. And +1 attack. So swing for 4. Down to 7. We get retaliated on. Down to 9. We're going to, well, make our next card 1 cheaper. Inspiring Presence. Play only if we have the Avenger trait. We do. Heal 1 damage from an ally. Ooh, and ready it. Never mind. We'll wait a second on that. No, never mind. Yeah. We want to thwart. So we're going to heal 1 damage from her and ready. She's already ready. Thwarting for 2. Make our next Avenger 1 cheaper. So bring in Stinger. Play only if we have the Avenger trait, which we do. It does not count against our ally limit. She's going to come in and thwart for 1. Wasp is up to 2 damage. So we took care of the drone factory. Move my ants around. Then we will bring in U.S. Agent for 3. 4 to 1, attack of 1, 5 health, and he has retaliate 1, and he's going to come in and thwart for 1. And that will end our turn. Drawing 4. Pim Particles, Strength of Numbers, more Pim Particles, and Inspiring Presence. We get a threat. Goes to attack, we get a drone. He gets +2 attack. Stinger is defending here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8 damage. Stinger didn't make it. He swings for 1, down to 8. Yeah, we'll do it that way. Then our encounter card. Program transmitter. After Ultron schemes, place a threat on each side scheme. Exhaust your hero and spend 2 mental resources to discard this card. Got some problems going on here. Too many attachments. All right, we're going strength and numbers. Exhausting 2 cards to draw 2 cards. Got a Quinn Carrier and Inspiring Presence. We will make our next card 1 cheaper. So we'll pay Pin Particles, Hero Response. After you spend this card, heal 2 damage from your hero if we're in giant form, and we are, so we're going to end up healing 4. So up to 12. And that's going to bring our Quinn Carrier in. Exhaust this to generate a wild resource. And we'll use the Quinn Carrier for some Inspiring Presence. Heal damage from an ally and ready it. And then she will thwart for 2. Ant-Man takes care of another army of ants. Then we will flip, which allows us to draw a card into Genius. And we can use our ants to deal a damage down to 6. Well, and that was all used up, so that's discarded. And ending her turn. I'm going to keep both of these, drawing 3 more. And the Swarm Tactics gets us a counter card and shuffling. And we've got 2 more cards coming our way. So we got Mighty Heroes and Team Training. So a threat. And a drone. Ultron is attacking. We are just going to take it. So 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. Down to 8. Then this guy is swinging for 2. Down to 6. Actually, we'll defend. So he'll take 2 and retaliate for 1. And we get an encounter card. First one, villain attacks you. Well, this time I'll defend. Well, I guess first we get a drone coming out. Ooh, and we would have taken 1 more damage. So now he's doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, we're defending. 6, we block 2. So we're taking 4 down to 3. And then Android Efficiency. Each player puts a top card of their deck into play face down, engage with them as a drone minion. All right, now we got a drone problem. All right, so we're going to use our Mighty Heroes, ready another, exhaust an Avenger character you control to ready another. So Wasp down, Ant-Man gets readied. We'll use our ants for 1 damage here. Getting rid of the Black Knight. Make a card, next card 1 cheaper. Heal a damage from an ally and ready it. So heal a damage from Wasp. Then attack to get rid of one of these drones. Power of Leadership. We will flip to our giant size. Dealing a damage to an enemy. We'll choose Ultron, since that gets around retaliate. Then swing for 3. Get rid of Hive Mind. Well, we changed to giant form, so we heal 2. We're up to 5 health. We'll then do some Swarm Tactics, since we have Ant-Man and Wasp. Change to our other hero form and ready our hero. We're going to pay with that with the Quinn Carrier. So we're changing the tiny form and readying. We remove a threat. That allows us to draw a card. If Finding another Ant-Man. Then we'll bring in team training. Or will we? I think I'm just going to give up on this. I think we're going to flip over to our alter ego side, heal a damage. And then heal 3. And then yeah, team training. Max 1 per player. Each ally we have gets +1 hit point. And we'll go ahead and keep Ant-Man in play, or in our hand. So ready your board. We'll draw 5 more cards. Energy, Army of Ants, Triskelion, Goliath, and Strength. So we're going to get a threat. He's going to scheme for a base 3, doing damage to each character you control. Not cool. So glad we got +1 hit point. Then our scheme, Android Efficiency. Each player puts the top card of their deck into play as a minion. And back to our turn. Oh wait, no it's not. This went way overboard. Almost forgot about that. When revealed, each player puts the top card of their deck into play face down, engage with them as a drone minion. So that would have come out and schemed for 1. Force response. After placing threat here during step 1 of the villain phase, each player must choose to either place 2 threat here or put the top card of their deck into play face down, engage with them as a drone minion. Put that there as my reminder. Now I think I'm caught up and correct. So we're going to flip to our tiny form. Allows us to remove a threat from a scheme and draw a card. Finding Hawkeye. And the blasters are annoying, so we're going to exhaust a hero and spend 2 energy resources to get rid of the blasters. That is annoying. So we are going to spin those 2 along with that for the physical. We'll make our next card 1 cheaper to bring in an Army of Ants. Swing for 1. Swing for another. Make our next card, or Avenger, 1 cheaper. So we're going to bring Hawkeye back out, so he gets 4 arrows. And, well, we'll go ahead and have Wasp swing for, nope, that'll take her out. She got 4 health. Yeah, that'll end her turn. Keep Goliath, drawing 4 more. So we've got Giant Stomp, Pim Particles, Resize, and Mighty Heroes. So we're going to place a threat. Then we either place 2 threat there or get another minion. So we'll just go up to 3. Ultron's going to attack. We get a drone. We're going to wait till they get bigger before we start using Hawkeye. So he's attacked for a base 3. Just going to have Wasp defend. Choose to either spend a energy resource or put the top card of your deck into play face down, engage with you as a drone. I'll use that as our resource. Wasp is out. Swings for 1. Then our encounter card, we're under attack. The player chooses to either place 2 threat here or deal 3 damage to their hero. Alright, so we'll go down to 4 health. So, Ants, get rid of the Risk Gauntlets. Ants for 1 more damage, down to 4. Actually, no, not yet. Flip over to our giant form. That deals the damage. Down to 4, we heal 2, and we're +1 attack for this turn, swinging for 4, so we've taken down the first version of Ultron. Next version has 27 health. Scheme of 2, attack of 4. Each drone minion gets +1 attack and a hit point. Ultron cannot take damage while a drone minion is in play. When revealed, search the encounter deck and discard pile for Ultron's imperative side scheme, reveal it, and shuffle the encounter deck. So not in their discard pile. Ultron's imperative. This gets shuffled. When revealed, the first player puts the top 2 cards to their deck into play, face down, engage with them as a drone minions. And Ping Ping. Army of Ants and the Power of Leadership. It gets 2 threat on it. We're going to use our Mighty Heroes to exhaust an Avenger, to ready an Avenger. And swing for 4 more. Down to 23. We will make our next card 1 cheaper. I'm going to go for a Giant Stomp. Play only if you're Giant Hero form. Deal a damage to each minion, then deal 8 damage to an enemy. So down to 15. And then since we used our Pim Particles, after you spin this, heal 2 damage from your hero if we're in giant form. So up to 8. We're going to resize, hero action, change to your other hero form and draw a card. So we're drawing into a Hawkeye, tiny form, get to remove a threat. And draw a card. Army of Ants, down to 14. Next Avenger we bring in is going to be 1 cheaper, so we'll bring in the other Hawkeye. 4-1, attack of 2. Exhaust this ally and discard a card from hand and deal X damage to an enemy, where X is the number of printed resources on that card. Have him. Ooh, he's almost out. She will thwart for 1 to get rid of the imperative. And I believe that is going to be the turn. We'll be drawing 5. Strength of numbers, Stinger, Lockjaw, Wonder Man, and a Giant Stomp. So we're going to put a threat out, bring out a drone, shoot it with an arrow. Giant Strength. Ultron's going to attack. U.S. Agent jumps in the way. So it's a base 4. 4 damage coming in. It's enough to wipe him out, so his Retaliate doesn't do anything. And counter card, the Villain Schemes. That's what I was afraid of. So 1, 2, 3. 3. Took us up to 7 out of 10. And it's our turn, and we just need to do 14 damage this round. So we will start with 2 coming from the Ants, taking him down to 12. That version of Hawkeye swings for 2, down to 10. We are going to flip to our giant form, dealing a damage down to 9, getting +1 attack for the turn, and then healing 2, taking us up to 10. Then swinging for 4, down to 5 health. Next card 1 cheaper, Quinn Carrier and Lockjaw brings out a giant stomp to deal 8 damage to an enemy. And that takes care of Ultron. And we still had some more cards to bring in for more damage if needed. So pretty powerful there. And for deck construction, for leadership, we've got 2 powers of leadership, a team training, a Triskelion, 3 inspiring presence, 3 strength in numbers, and then a bunch of allies, Black Knight, Ant-Man, Goliath, Hawkeye, U.S. Agent, Squirrel Girl, Stinger, the other version of Hawkeye, and Wonder Man. And for basic cards, Strength, Energy, and Genius, along with some resources, helpers, Helicarrier, Quinn Carrier, and Avengers Tower. Then we have 3 of the Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Swarm Tactics, and Lockjaw. And that's my build for Ultron Expert. As always, I hope you enjoyed this playthrough, so please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.